So, you live in Santee and you're on the hunt for a dog trainer? Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to find that perfect match for you and your dog. Okay, just picture this for a second. You're taking a nice, calm walk around Santee Lakes, and your dog isn't pulling like crazy toward every single distraction. Or maybe you're at Trolley Square and your dog is just chilling. That's the dream, isn't it? A well-trained dog just makes enjoying everything Santee has to offer so much easier.
Here's what we're going to cover. First, why training is so key for life right here in Santee. Then, we'll get into what to actually look for in a trainer. After that, the practical stuff. Costs and what to ask. And finally, we'll talk about how to put it all into practice.
First up, training for Santee life. Let's talk about why this is so important right here, in our own backyard.
Professional training goes way beyond just sit and stay. It's all about real-world skills. A good trainer can help your dog learn to ignore those super tempting ducks at the lakes, or handle the hustle and bustle of a weekend farmer's market, or how about just walking politely on the San Diego River Trail? These are the skills that build a really confident dog and a much less stressed you.
Okay, Section 2, what to look for. We're going to get into their methods, the different kinds of programs, and what all those letters after a trainer's name actually mean.
The term you're going to see everywhere is positive reinforcement. And really, it's pretty simple. It's all about rewarding your dog for making good choices, with things like treats or praise. It's not based on punishment. This approach is what builds trust and makes that bond with your dog even stronger.
So, what kind of training format is right for you? Well, group classes are fantastic for practicing around other dogs in a controlled setting, great for general manners and socialization. But if you're dealing with specific issues that mostly happen at home, like your dog dashing out the door, that's where private, one-on-one sessions really shine.
Those letters after a trainer's name can tell you a lot. Certifications like CPDT-KA show that a trainer has a solid foundation in modern training knowledge. Now, if you're dealing with more complex issues like serious fear or aggression, you might want to look for advanced credentials like CBCC-KA, which shows a deeper level of expertise in behavior.
Now for Section 3, the practical side of things. Let's talk about budgeting and, maybe most importantly, what you need to ask a trainer before you hire them. Of course, one of the first questions on everybody's mind is the cost. So what should you expect to budget for dog training services here in the Santee area? Here's a general breakdown of what you might see. A 6-week group class could run you anywhere from about $180 to $350. A single private lesson is usually between $100 and $180. You can see how those multi-session packages often end up being a better value. And then, for something really intensive like a board and train program, it's a much bigger investment. But money is only part of it. Finding the right fit is everything. So what are the most important questions you should be asking when you first talk to a trainer? Think of this as your checklist for making a great decision. First, ask about their training philosophy to make sure it aligns with what you want. Definitely ask about certifications. A huge one is to confirm they can create a plan specifically for your life here in Santee. And of course, get all the details on fees, policies, and what they recommend before you sign up.
And that brings us to our final section, putting it into practice. This is where we connect all that training to the real world with local rules and some great spots to work on those new skills. Being a responsible dog owner in Santee means knowing the local rules. A rabies vaccination and a county license are required for all dogs over 4 months. Leashes are mandatory pretty much everywhere except designated dog parks. And yep, excessive barking can actually become a formal issue. Now about that leash rule, there's a very specific number to remember. In Santee, and actually all of San Diego County, the maximum leash length allowed in public is 8 feet.
And here it is, straight from the San Diego County Ordinance. It's not just a suggestion, it's the rule. And it's there for safety and control. So using a standard non-retractable leash around that length is always your best bet.
So where can you go to practice? Mast Park is awesome. It has fenced off-leash areas perfect for working on recall. Santee Lakes is basically the ultimate test for leash skills with all those distractions. For something a bit quieter to build focus, try the Walker Preserve Trail. And the San Diego River Trail is great for practicing polite walking around other people, bikes, and joggers.
At the end of the day, this is what it's all about. Investing the time to find the right trainer really does set the foundation for a wonderful partnership. It leads to a dog who feels secure and confident, and an owner who feels way more calm and prepared.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. With a happy, well-behaved dog by your side, what part of Santee are you most excited to go explore together? Whether it's a picnic, a hike, or just a relaxing stroll through the neighborhood, we wish you the very best on your training journey and for all the adventures that are going to follow.